So I'm at some basketball court right now. There's you can't really see it, but just gonna sort of walk around here because it's empty. I actually had my first day of class today, which is interesting. It was nice. I like my classes. Uh, Unfortunately, it seems both of the two classes I've gone to thus far have books which are college specific, and I think they're year specific too, which if you ever hear a professor saying something like that, like, oh, it's a brand new book, or we have a custom online service, two things you gotta understand. First of all, it's not a brand new book. It's a new edition with like 4 changes of an old book. But changed in just a way so that it makes the class extremely hard, like reshuffled around and everything, so that it makes the class really hard if you use an old edition. And then also, if they say they have a custom or new online service, that basically just means you're going to buy a brand new book whether you want to or not. There's no way around that. Sometimes you can go through a third-party source and like just get the little card or like a little card or a little code or something that'll get you into the online bit, and you can just ignore the physical book. Though they're starting to figure that out, so they're not even selling an official book as part of it anymore. So, seems like I'm going to have to spend several $100s. Luckily, one of my classes, one I thought would be more interesting and probably still will be, but not because the professor's any good, just because I'm interested in the subject. That class seems like, well, they like merged the book into one book. I'm sure they reshuffled it, but it's 6 separate bits. Only 2 of them will be used for the class. And someone got them off Amazon in the class and showed that. So I am going to look on Amazon, or he might have gotten it somewhere other than Amazon, but I know Amazon does like a book program. You can get 2-day shipping for free if you prove you're a student. Amazon at least cares about students' wallets. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. So, simultaneously, a lot and not much happened today. And I suppose yesterday, too. The video, actually, at the time of this recording, I still haven't uploaded the other half of the video. In fact, I sort of don't even have it edited yet, because today's been busy and not. I'll explain that in a second. Anyways, I didn't have time to sit down and do it. So, I had it fully edited, but then it turned out the 28-minute video at what my phone's editor thinks is 1080p and what YouTube thinks is 720p. It was 9.88 gigabytes or something like that. So I had to go in and clear out a whole bunch on my phone. Luckily, my phone's a 32, but I usually have 5 or 6 open at any time, which has been really helpful for these videos, but it just didn't work. It just pooped its pants. So, yeah, and I can't even, because of that, it seems to have broken part of it, so I can't even look at like the drafts, which is the videos I'm not done with, although, I don't know, that's not the end of the world. I just have to go in and re-edit it. I'll probably upload this one and that one at the same time. Yeah, so if videos ever get that long, I'm gonna have to upload them in 2 bits or maybe 3. That said, in the future, I think I'm gonna plan on that. Like if I look down at the recording and see 13 minutes like I did that one day, yesterday, actually, with the philosophy bit, I'm just gonna like straight up like say like, all right, this is the end of part 1. But so yeah, I don't know, it's kind of weird to upload one day half of a video on the same day as half of the next day's, or the whole thing of the next day's video. But whatever. As to the not having time I mentioned, and how today was simultaneously busy and not busy, my classes, I structured it this way just on purpose so that hopefully at some point I can get a job at some point. I do not currently have one, and that's not a great idea. But I structured it in a way so that I'm basically at 1 o'clock, I'm done with all classes every single day. And I don't have anything planned on Saturdays and Sundays, with the exception of like a single Saturday every month. And that, what I have to do then ends by 3. So the result is that more or less I'm very open for jobs. I'm hoping at the very least I can find something that'll do somewhere between 5 and 15 hours. That way I can just keep it for the rest of the time, even during finals. If I had a job at one point that I had to quit, they would have kept me, but they basically told me invariably, like, pick school or pick this. And at the time I was 16, and it seems like a lot of jobs do that, where it's basically like, we're not going to give you 40 hours because of some blah 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 insurance something something, and that counts as a full time. But what we will do is offer you a minimum hour count of like 30, but expect you to do 39 most of the time. As well as, that job was even worse because I think I was like the lowest rung. There might have been someone lower than me, but I was the lowest as far as I knew. In my section, I was definitely the lowest. And because of that, because of that company's weird seniority system, I didn't actually get to choose my schedule. And if they needed me for a different time, I just kind of had to deal with it, which wasn't a problem during the summer when I was working it. It became a problem when I started school, and they're just kind of like, well, we're not going to change it. We're not going to decrease your hours. So it's like, all right, well, I guess I have to quit. So anyways, I'm hoping that my very much opened up schedule this semester, combined with the fact that, opened up schedule, combined with the fact that I'm a little older and I have a little more experience, will enable me to get something. I don't care what it is. Honestly, minimum wage for like, even worst case scenario, they only hire me for like 5 hours a week. Although it seems like it's cheaper to hire someone for 39 hours than it is for 5. Even doing that, worst case scenario, and I only get 5 hours a week, that's still $40 a month. And $40 a month isn't much, but it's a lot more than nothing. So, yeah. So, with minimum wage being $8.23 and then 23 cents just immediately removed for, I don't know, like when I'm 65, I'll get it back, I guess, or maybe not if they decide that Social Security, I think it's called, is not a thing anymore. I heard that if they do cancel that, the trade-off is that they're just going to like keep all the money. So for the people who are like 62 or something like that, it's like, hey, by the way, those like 42 years of work you just did to like earn a nest egg that the government promises, not a thing anymore. So I don't know. I hope it doesn't get canceled, or if it does get canceled, I hope they just return it in our next tax form or something, or return it over like a 5-year period or something like that. I guess if they return it immediately, you're going to get a whole bunch of gambling and stuff like that. People are going to go blow it. But yeah, anyways, the main thing is I kind of want to get something good. If I can get 10 hours or if I can get a job and they insist on like 20 hours, I'll just deal with it. But I'm kind of gonna go in there prefacing like, I have a lot of open space, but I also have school, and that's not going to be easy for me. So, anyways, the thing is, I don't know. It's opened up, but the thing is, right now I don't have a job. It was a nice warm summer day. Well, okay, it's midwinter, but it felt like summer for like an hour or two. At like noon to like 3, it was like, I don't know, it was probably like 45, but after all the cold weather we've been getting, that felt like 65. Or maybe 85. Anyway, so I had a relaxing-ish bike home. I don't know. The result is that I've spent like 5 hours getting home. Although, to be fair, about an hour of that was laying in some grass that was really pleasant. I don't actually think it was a park, but it was something. I don't know. laying down in grass on a warm day is my favorite thing to do during summer. So, which is, I don't know, it's fun anyways, and relaxing and all that. The thing is, I'm hoping this all works out, but the result is that basically, oh yeah, I guess I should explain why I spent 5 hours getting home. In order to readjust my sleep schedule, I'm trying to not get home early. Because also the fact that like the longer I'm outside, the healthier I am as a person. But the fact is, I'm not going to bed at the right time. I had too much break, so I can't. At one point, I was going to bed at like 5 in the morning. But anyways, I have to readjust that. Right now, I'm still like naturally going to bed at 2. Which, in case you weren't aware, that's not healthy. Especially when you got to get up at 8, or 7, I mean. Not the end of the world. I got 5 hours of sleep last night and 4 the night before, which during finals, 5 hours is a luxury. But actually, the reason I got 5 rather than 7 last night is because I spent 2.5 hours trying to clear up my phone, and then I guess I'll call it whisper yelling at the at my phone or at the phone's editor for just kind of refusing to do anything about it. I never actually got 2% on finishing that video up, and I still would have had to upload it to YouTube. Anyways, so I'll finish editing that up. But yeah, if I go home and then I'll shower, then the result will be that I'll be all relaxed and stuff at the end of the day. I don't have homework, but well, the thing is, basically, if I'm all relaxed like that, it's very likely that at some point I'll think like, oh, I'm just gonna go lay down, and then I'll wake up at like 2 in the morning, wide awake. And I've noticed that doing that, if I wake back up again and I'm awake for more than like 20 minutes, I lose it all. So I'd be awake, and then it'd be like 5 a.m. I'd go to bed, I get like 2 hours of sleep, and then it would be as if I got 2 hours of sleep. All that 8 hours would just go away, or however long. So the result is I'm exercising a lot, although I like doing that anyways, biking around, and I'm also getting home later, hence the twilight-ish, or I guess, yeah, it's twilight. Sun's beneath the horizon, that's what it is. So, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, it's not a very late twilight, it's like 5, or maybe 6, but I don't know. So, luckily I don't have to do this for very long, although I do intend to still exercise a whole bunch. As long as I can, as long as the roads are clear enough, I'm probably just going to bike home. I did that every day during summer, but I kind of gave it up for winter because the roads aren't clear, but I think I'm going to pick that back up again, biking home that is, if the roads are clear. I can't meander around as much as I could during summer, where I could just like decide like, hey, you know what? I feel like going down this road. It doesn't lead in the right direction. In fact, it's 90 degrees in the wrong direction, but I feel like going down it, so I'm gonna. I can't really do that. It's still cold enough where I can't, but I can bike home, which is good. All right, so this is the end of. I think I'm gonna keep the slides in for the like general. There isn't any channel news, and I don't really have philosophy to discuss, or think tank things to discuss. But I don't know. I think that I think I'm gonna keep using those sections just as the default transitions, just in case. One video I'll put in like a little bit of another video. I don't know, maybe just to label the sections, even if most videos are like this one, just rambling for the general/personal update section. Alright, and I think that's a wrap. Alright, so I suppose he's saying goodbye for us.